This is St. Louis on the Air from St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Elaine Cha. I don't know about you, but when I hear the words food and gas station together, roller hot dogs and foil-wrapped breakfast sandwiches with questionable cheese come most immediately to mind. But there are some gas stations in the St. Louis area that are breaking that mold. Alexa Beattie is staff writer at Sauce Magazine. She went searching for those spots, and she joins me now. Welcome, Alexa. So how is it that you found yourself looking for delicious food in St. Louis gas stations?
Well, I can't say that it was my idea. I think I got a tip, and I loved the sound of it because I'm big on surprises, and gas stations are usually grim places for me. And the idea that somebody somewhere was doing something delicious was intriguing.
Mm-hmm. So does that mean that you were actually anticipating finding good food?
I wasn't sure I was going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
But that particular Olivet station on Olive, I had been to that gas station countless times and had no idea that that was going on in the back.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
I too, I drive by there very frequently.
Yeah.
And it is a BP gas station, and they have something special for fans of Pakistani cuisine.
Yep.
So tell us about the food at Olivet Station.
Well, I haven't worked my way through the entire menu by any means, and it's not a big menu. She does have some American things like fried chicken, but I haven't bothered with those.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing I think that she has is it's a samosa chana chaat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a handmade samosa, vegetable samosa, that's smothered in chickpea curry, and then she tops it with fresh chopped onion, tomato, cilantro. It's really a lovely thing.
And the she that we're talking about is Nazia
Yep.
Afzal.
Yes.
And so when you got to talking with her after you enjoyed the food, they do have, she and her husband, they have a unique story, which started with their coming to St. Louis in 2014. If she's making food of that quality, I mean, how did they end up opening a gas station restaurant?
Well, I think they came and for whatever reason hit on gas stations. And the Olivet one specifically, it had a shop attached, a mechanics
Oh, right,
shop.
right.
And so that's what they were running. They hired a mechanic who ended up being a bit of a rotter and made off with their tools and just generally let them down.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when they got rid of the shop, had more space, and she loves to cook, and she grew up cooking, and that's what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. So you've mentioned the samosa. What other dishes really stand out as ones that are done well?
Well, I am a huge fan of bread, and I think I'm discerning when it comes to bread. And her naan is lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And she also has in the back, she doesn't really have a kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
Formal kitchen, but she has a couple of big rice cookers. She has a big deep fryer, and she makes this beautiful basmati rice.
Mm-hmm.
And she also makes a lovely cup of chai tea.
Yeah. This is both a wonderful and terrible thing to talk about at this time of day. I will definitely have to stop by. Now, another place that you visited, along with Olivet Station, there are two other gas stations that are doing something special with barbecue. Tell us about Three Bay BBQ and Bakery and OBQs.
Yep. Three Bay, I've been dying to get back to. I love pulled pork, but don't love too much sauciness.
Mm-hmm.
And the pulled pork that I had there was, I think I can say it was the best pulled pork sandwich I've had.
Oh.
Not too sauced, served on a brioche bun.
Mm-hmm.
And then for dessert, I had the most magical piece of banana cake.
Okay.
Iced banana cake that weighed a ton,
Mm-hmm.
beautifully moist.
Okay, so you definitely got your fill there.
Yeah, I was pleased.
And Three Bay BBQ and Bakery is in Town and Country, and they've been open for 9 years, I believe.
Is that, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's right. In a Phillips 66.
Gas station, which
Of
is
all unglamorous things.
Now, OBQ's is in Chesterfield, and that too is in a Phillips 66 gas station. And apparently it is known by locals as the Gucci gas.
Well, I have my daughter to thank for that
Okay.
piece of knowledge because she has a lot of friends in West County and who go there. And she's been there numerous times, I think. And I think it's called the Gucci gas because it's very slick
Mm-hmm.
in a good way.
Right, right.
But it's definitely not rough and ready, which the other two are a little
more on that side.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
So the Gucci gas, yeah, when you're sitting in there, you could be sitting in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. And the foods that they offer, it's maybe you grab a couple pounds of meat.
Yes, you can do that.
And so you've mentioned the pulled pork. What are a couple of the other things that you can get there?
I think you can get the pulled pork and pulled chicken. As I remember, it was mostly the pulled things to take home for dinner.
Sure.
But I'm sure the whole menu you can take out too.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's shift gears a little bit here. You didn't just explore gastrolicious gas stations, Alexa, but you are also looking at what happens in traditional brick and mortar restaurants when an owner is ready to retire. You looked at several recent examples and found that some owners are finding ways of passing these businesses on to their employees. Why are these owners doing that, Alexa? I mean, what did they tell you?
I think I expected them to say, which they did, that it's like a parent obviously passing their baby to someone they know rather than a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
They've invested so much in it. The employees know all the workings, and it can be more relaxed.
Mm-hmm. And a few of the places that where you talked with the new owners who used to be employees are sort of in different places. There's Big Sky Cafe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. As well as
Bauman's Fine Meats in Brentwood.
Yes.
Those boys took over and they are only in their mid-20s, which is impressive, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And then another one is not too far from here, in fact, one restaurant that's gone through this change, that is. It's Retreat Gastropub here in St. Louis. And we're joined by a former server, now owner, Sydney Caldwell. Sydney, welcome to the show. Thank you for having me. So last year, Travis Howard, who owned Retreat Gastropub, asked 2 of his long-term employees if they wanted to take over. And you were one of them, Sydney. And the other was your wife, Jennifer Anderson. What was it like to get that kind of offer from your boss? I mean, were you expecting it in any way?
No, we were absolutely not expecting by any means for Travis to be offering this sort of opportunity to us because Retreat had been everything is going really well. We don't really have a ton of staffing issues. We were very successful, and we were very surprised that he was willing to step away, and we were thrilled to be given this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you started there in 2018. What were you doing at the time that has nothing to do with the restaurant business?
Yeah. In 2018, I was partway through my master's degree in social work over at SLU. And I was really just bartending there to pay my way through grad school. But, I kind of fell in love with the space and also, meeting my wife there. She became the GM in that span of time as well. And we really just sort of tag teamed Retreat Gastropub for a while and fell in love with each other and in love with the space and with Retreat.
So, I mean, as the owner, that's a big jump, even from being a general manager. Mm-hmm. What is different about the day-to-day work that you're doing in that position, like as the proprietor of this place?
Yeah, I think that what's been the most different is approaching every day, looking for ways to improve every aspect of our service for our guests and really for our staff. I think that the dedication that we have towards the people that we work with every day, finding ways to make every service better for them is sort of a pivot than sort of like, how am I going to make the most money I possibly can today?
Right.
So it's really taking care of the people that we work with.
Mm-hmm. And for those who aren't familiar with Retreat Gastropub, Sydney, can you give us a brief description of what the restaurant's all about?
Yeah, I think that a quick description of Retreat is a modern, rustic American pub we try to have great music, but we also have even better people. So that's sort of the vibe.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that you've carried into this new ownership role that comes directly from having been an employee, behind the bar, and then also doing other duties at the restaurant?
Yeah, I think that for Jenny and I both, what we really bring is a deep knowledge of this space and also the relationships that we've built with the people that come and dine with us. We have a really dedicated base of regulars, and we're really excited to create, more and more rapport with the people that come in. And really that familiarity is all really what we're about. We are a neighborhood restaurant, and we really want to, keep that going.
Mm-hmm. Is there any crossover between social work and what you're doing running the restaurant?
Oh my gosh, yes, of course. I think Jenny also has a couple master's degrees in related fields, so we're very very educated in the realm of social, psychosocial norms and such. So when it comes to, being of a community and with our staff, I think that we're very sensitive to people's needs, whether that's, family, psychological, etc.
Right.
Yeah, we're very attuned.
Mm-hmm. Alexa, how much of what Sydney is talking about was also common in what you heard from previous owners and current owners of restaurants?
Let me think. Bauman struck me because they knew the neighborhood so well and the people so well, and that gave them confidence to take that place over, I think, and had plans to very gently bring Bauman's into now.
Right.
Making a little deli station. They were full of ideas.
Mm-hmm. And this was another situation in which the previous owner approached them about taking over?
Yes. The previous owner, I forget his name, but he had passed away, and his wife, I suppose, was looking for new owners, and she approached them and was kind and gave them a good deal that they apparently couldn't refuse.
Yeah, much as you would hope would happen between parents and their children. Right. So as we talk about that, I mean, how much is involved here that is really about more than money?
Yes, I think it is about more than money. It's about all kinds of things. It's about trust and familiarity, and there is that whole parental thing of bringing somebody up to speed and giving them wings. It's nice, and it's about it's a sort of delicate juggle between respecting the past and doing something new, being respectful to the people who've given you this opportunity.
Right. So Sydney, for your part at Retreat Gastropub, how are you doing that? How are you sort of bringing in your and Jennifer's sort of sensibilities or interests into this restaurant, yet sort of maintaining what it was before?
Yeah, I think that we both have such a strong respect for the legacy that Travis and Tim Wiggins have also, given Retreat. And I think that our idea really is to maintain as much of that heart as we possibly can. We'd like to elevate the menu slowly, have some more, feminine aesthetic, if you will, and also just do a little bit more community-centered work. We're hosting a little mocktail event with the HRC upcoming this month. So just small things, but we really want to keep the heart of the business the same.
Mm-hmm. And in a dish, would you recommend this arrangement to other restaurant workers or owners?
Oh, gosh, absolutely. I think that St. Louis has such a uniquely dedicated, hilarious, talented group of industry professionals, and I think that this is probably the best possible model for a restaurant handoff. Mm-hmm. And I think it will preserve our great restaurants. Instead of shuttering them, it'd be really great to see them continue.
Sydney Caldwell is the co-owner of Retreat Gastropub in St. Louis. Sydney, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And Alexa Beattie is a staff writer at Sauce Magazine. Until recently, she was the food critic at the Riverfront Times. Her coverage of food and restaurants has also appeared in St. Louis Magazine and the Washington Post. Alexa, great to have you here too.
Thank you so much.
This episode was produced by Danny Wissentowski.
Audio engineering and podcast design by Aaron Dorr.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
The Gateway brings you the day's news each weekday from around the St. Louis region and the state capitals in Jefferson City.
Our schools are accredited. We don't need this bill.
And Springfield.
How many more years must pass before lawmakers see time is of the essence?
I'm Abby Larico. Join me each weekday for The Gateway on the STLPR app or wherever you get podcasts.